There we are. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Awesomenauts Rumble with myself, Devmon, and my co-host, or host, Uberanzi. Say something. Anything.
Hi, I'm gonna say something because
There
I
you go.
need to say something because this is exciting. Oh man, we are here, Grand Finals, Awesomenauts Rumble, first Gathers tournament, Grand Finals with two great teams that are gonna duke it out. This is exciting. There's potential for bracket resets. There's potential for lots of fun matches, and we've even got a pretty interesting little draft at the start here. So I mean, like you got Nikki versus Paulo, and you got so many great players. And this is the first Gathers Grand Finals that we've ever streamed or ever done, and all of this live. It's gonna be great.
Well, it is going to be great because have you seen who's playing against each other? Have you seen who's on each team? These are some of the best players that we've had in the Awesomenauts community. In terms
I
of
know.
players, at least.
It's gonna be an exciting match. But first, before we can start this match, we're gonna have to get into the draft. So, starting on the draft, we've got. Oh, and I just got reminded of this. We have the bet system. Bet on which team you think is going to win, red or blue. And if you guessed right, you'll be entered for a giveaway to win a skin. Forgot about that. Thank you, Pillow. And anyways, into the draft we go. We've got Team Cute Men versus Team Xipang Disciples. So, Cute Men is on the red team here, and Xipang is blue. And we've got Ribbit 4. That's going to be an interesting little map because it can really change what characters are viable. And we've got, for the bans, for Cute Men, we have Lux and Leon. Pretty strong knots, and they did not opt to ban Derpal or Genji because it seemed like they wanted to get them themselves, and that puts Xipang Disciples in a pretty tight spot for the draft. And their picks are going to be Genji, Swiggins, and Ted. Ted has just so much damage on Ribbit, and being able to throw that airstrike down the middle, down the chimney, as some might say, is just so strong, and it's very, very useful because it's just so much damage. And then you got Genji with the fantastic teamfight potential. Monarch Blessing is going to stop pretty much all damage, and the Cocoon is just great at just disabling someone, like for example, disabling Penny if she's got her gun back, or Froggy from using NATO, or just from initiating at all. And Swiggins, great lockdown, decent damage. He can kind of just go in with the right click and then get out, or he can commit to it. So you got to watch out for that. You could switch it up. And for Xipang Disciples, we've got Derpal and Vinny as the bans, with Vinny actually being the second ban. So Derpal was banned, but Genji was not, and Vinny was only a second ban. It's kind of a strange little setup there, but anyways.
I wouldn't actually say it's so strange, to be honest. Given that it is Ribbit, I think the highest priority for bans is Derpal. As we've seen on other maps, like the Aguilar match of Derpal, banning him right away, just because he contests so much area early on, it makes a lot of sense in that situation. Yeah. If it was like, say, Starstorm, I don't think we'll ever see that uncompetitive for now. Or maybe even AI Station 205, I don't think it would have really been an issue. But since it's Ribbit, you've got that chimney that's so clustered, and it's such a highly contested point. Derpal's probably the top ban they could pretty much have. Other bans, probably Ted, but they didn't really fear Ted as much, so that's why you've got Jimmy being banned out, because he's one of the stronger nuts at the moment. And then later on, Vinny's been, he's proven to show his worth. So they kind of want to deny pretty much the burst stacking we could probably get with Genji and Swiggins, so you could, and they just stack the burst up. Or denying burst in the case with Penny and Frog, who would be kind of monsters to combine the amp with all the splash dash, spike dive, and pounce damage. So that makes sense to me. The unban, fairly standard, it avoids some of the awkward situations where you get pulled into a comp and instantly die.
Yeah, more or less. Pretty much. Yeah, maybe I was reading into the whole Vinny ban thing a little too much. But anyways, I haven't even talked about the Xipang Disciples team. They've got Penny, Froggy, and Scoop. Scoop isn't seen nearly as much as he used to be. He's still definitely a good knot, but he's not like sort of the S tier knots that you tend to see like Genji or Vinny, or even like or like Penny and whatnot, and Swiggins as well. But Scoop is just he's got that very easy to use, like very minimal damage with his middle mouse button / E press. He's got the bindings, which is just decent healing, but a very long cooldown. The hammer really helps set up the team fights, and you can get things like healing on hammer, which is just great for keeping him alive. He's good at being the light initiation and just staying alive, and he could definitely support his team with the and he can definitely support his team with helping them get in with all the damage and whatnot. But who do you think has the superiority in this draft? Because I feel like Cute Men might have a slightly better team here. Well, what do you think?
I hate to say it, but I think Cute Men is gonna have it. And the reason for that, I just feel like Scoop's been kind of a weak choice ever since he got a whole bunch of his burst nerfs. I mean, if he can play him well and win, I'll be impressed and I'll give him all the credit to it. But Scoop's a little bit on the weaker side at the moment. And even though he's easy to play, this is competitive with some of the best players in the game. Easy to play doesn't matter. It's what their skill cap is, I'd say.
Absolutely. But anyways, we now have the okay to get into this first match here, so we can stop talking about this draft and hop straight into the first match at the 21-second mark because of the 4.0 changes. And hopefully I won't have any weird desync issues this time. And we are going to get underway. Let me just get to the right time zone. There we go. All right.
The time zone you're in is currently mountain time. No.
No, that's not even right. You got it wrong.
No. Anyways, yeah, I'm at the 21-second mark. Let me know when you're ready and give me a countdown because that'll be easier to sync up for you.
All right, absolutely. So starting from 21 seconds, starting at 3, ending, or actually no, starting at 3 and then going at go. What are words? Someone tell me. I don't know what the English language is.
Words are just things you don't have.
All right, don't actually give me a lecture. We got to get into the match. Okay, anyways, 21-second mark. 3, 2, 1, go.
There we are, off to the races. In terms of the teams, we have Dave W playing your Genji, the Prophet. We have Ubi playing Swiggins, and we have Nikki playing your Ted McPain. On the other team, we have Mr. Manager playing Penny, having a fun time on the bounce pad. We have Hollow playing your Frog, and we have Bud the Hunter on the Scoop. Because, why not? I think it'll be interesting to see if he can pull it off.
He just wanted to show off that. He wanted to show off that nice little skin, that Robo Scoop, man. Not many people want. He just wants to gloat.
Maybe.
Who cares if it's the grand finals?
If he's good enough to pull it off, I'll be impressed. Early pickups include damage, stun, and some more damage and silence. More or less. So Penny's silence is going to be key here, denying the Genji Cocoon and basically holding back as much as possible. Scoop's able to take an anchor drop and keep himself well sustained. Genji auto attack builds I've been seeing quite a lot recently, especially in the competitive scene. Rushing his whole auto attack row, which includes the damage, range, and attack speed, seems to be the preferred option. Not necessarily sure if it's the best option, but it seems to be one that does tons of damage or works out anyways. Otherwise, Swiggins with the Ancient Octane allows him to do a lot of team initiation and do fairly decent amounts of stun and damage to help land the cocoons. Ted's grenade per home, keep him alive and deny everybody, and you can talk about that in a sec anyways. Back to the triple super scoop, that's just burst damage. Frog's up burst damage in the form of hammer pants, and it allows him to increase the area, the application of the original damage anyways, if he lands on the surface. And again, like I said, Penny's silence on pulse is really good at denying the abilities that the red team wants to use.
I love how you always are like, well, you can explain the grenade for home because
you're the Ted main. You're the Ted main.
the Ted main.
But it's not my show.
Anyways, but yeah, Ted's stun pack very good. Just lets you kind of just deny everything at the same time, especially against squishier characters. Be quite good. Almost landing that airstrike on Paulo. They're going to go for the blue team here is going to go for the solar boss very early here. Manager trying not to die to that hopefully, and just be able to get all that sweet solar and experience and health from that. Paulo just defending bottom, or excuse me, top by himself. But, you know, Frog isn't the best at defending. Well, we got Boldy Hunter. He is going to be rotating through the lanes, trying to find that sick hammer. Not going to actually get hit by that airstrike. Look, he was going to. There's the stun back and the anchor hook and drop. Just all that coordinated burst just right on his face. But Dave W's in a terrible spot. Going to go down to the pounce there and just, you know, get annihilated. That would be making the first blood for Mr. Manager here for Team XD. Quality.
Yeah. That's actually kind of surprising. And just keep in mind, I believe Cuteman's in the lead in the terms of the tournament, so if they don't win...
Oh, here's another big initiation, though. We got Nikki going in with the machine gun. He's actually just going to machine gun down Paulo. And he's going to clear these droids on bottom as well, making that 2 kills, 1 for 1 for each team. And... you know, not too abnormal to have 2 kills after 3 minutes in. Very standard stuff. We got the solar boss being farmed here by Dave W. Trying not to die. He's got them jukes on that solar boss. He doesn't know what to hit. He can't handle it. But Mr. Manager gonna go with the pulse on the droids. Gonna try and hit maybe an enemy Ocelonaut, but not gonna be able to really do that. And there is the 131 damage auto attack from Genji onto that tower. The range really helps, you know, poke away as well. With the plastic frame beads and then getting the wool shawl is quite nice, although you lack the ability to get, like, you know, utility stuff, like if you really want to rush spiritual cooking or something, but still very, very potent. And we got Paulo here, just actually going to get stun packed there, and take a little bit of damage, not too much. Body Hunter's going in with the bindings, but he's going to get cocooned right before the bindings finish, and Paulo going in with the tornado in order to stop his teammate from getting killed. But we've got the pulse going to do a ton of damage. Mr. Manager going to eat an anchor hook first. Trouble's there. There is the hammer trying to go in and get something done. The anchor drop is going to land on Mr. Manager, but nothing is going to happen because of it. Ubi's going to be able to get behind the turret as well as everyone else.
I spy, with my little eye, something that begins in R and ends in Bay. Of course, it's R-Bay for Frog right now.
Oh dear.
Which is the reflect projectiles and certain attacks, which is a conditional upgrade, but I think a strong upgrade, especially against a Cocoon from Genji, which you can actually reflect back into Genji. I mean, Frog can apply incredible pressure. If Dave W screws up a Cocoon against Frog, or if Paulo lands that R-Bay on the Cocoon, that actually might secure a team fight for the blue team. So there's a win condition introduced here that I think is interesting to note. Otherwise, I mean, you've got more damage going on both sides. You've got very standard builds. But actually, the hammer range, which is kind of nice as an upgrade early on for Scoop, because it allows him to have more effective pressure. Lots of damage going out. Airstrike just picks off Paulo, taking a revenge kill from, well, I guess from shooting from bullets from before. Nick's going to be able to get out there. Or is he? He's got just a slippery
The stun back, though, the auto attacks.
The auto attacks.
Going to pick up the kill on Nikki. That was he tried so hard at that start back there, but he kind of went back in. He probably could just ran to the tower here because he had already used hammer, it seems. But either way, not the biggest misplay or anything. Making that 2 for 2 on the kills right now. Very even experience. Money is pretty close as well. We got Ted coming back. Hoorah! He's got that Tetris and he's got the auto attack damage. Love Tetris, and auto attack damage is a very solid upgrade to get just early on, because Ted could just kind of combo the hell out of everybody too. A shotgun just does so much damage just going in. You have 4 shells that do 250, 300 damage with 1 stage auto attack damage. Very, very potent. And you got Genji up top here. Actually, the solar bus is going to take it on the red side. They're not going to kill the solar bus. They are. I thought they weren't for a second. That was just going to be strange. Paulo clearing those droids to make sure that the tower doesn't take any unnecessary damage, because it is already so low, being at about 3 bars. But we've got Swiggins going in with the anchor. Not really much is going to happen. We got Ubi just, well, he's just trying to go for the anchor hook. He's going to miss onto Mr. Manager, though. But then there's the airstrike and the stun pack. Going to do a good chunk of damage to him, but he is going to live to see another day. That strange little hammer, slow and bouncy, going to hit Ubi in the face, do 273 damage. We've got Dave W, Nikki throwing out the poke with those long-range auto attacks, Tedris, Genji's auto attack with the range upgrade, all sorts of good stuff. We got Paulo just hanging around bottom. He might jump up here and try to get something done. It doesn't look like he's going to eat a shotgun and a Tedris for his troubles, though. And Dave W going to get behind the turret. There's the airstrike coming out, going to hit Mr. Manager, do a good chunk of damage, but Nikki is going to get snared by that hammer, and Mr. Manager is just going to teleport out. Well, lots of little poking and little damage exchanges here, but nothing too crazy.
Well, I think that's kind of the theme, except for now where you've got the turret going down. Before, that turret was basically lowered down so much by the auto attack from Genji, being able to clear the droids so incredibly quickly and just kind of stacking that up with the little bit of chip. It really made a difference, and basically secures the early tower for Red, giving it a little bit of a slower advantage and almost a level advantage. Both teams have been pretty diligent in clearing their slower bosses, though, so the extra EXP and the extra slow that they've been getting has just accelerated the game more or less. Otherwise, I have to say that Ted has been on point for getting the damage out there, and it's been fairly straightforward for the fights. I'm still waiting for the Cocoon to be reflected by Frog and see the return investment in R-Bay in that case. Otherwise, it's pretty good for reflecting shotgun, ink shots, and even Genji's auto attack, but maybe not worth the slot if that's the case.
Absolutely. Yeah, looks like we've got just the super droid actually going to get taken out there, just like, doing a little bit of damage here and there. They couldn't really escort it or defend it too well. But we got Body Hunter just clearing on bottom. We got the Monarch Blessing hitting everybody, and there's the anchor hook going in, and the airstrike not quite going to hit anyone. And we got Paulo actually going to get hit by the stun pack, take a little bit of machine gun damage there, but nothing too crazy. And Dave W is going to just be clearing the droids. Just the red team clearing the droids, trying to get some push going, trying to find that frag that they could get in order to keep going. They're going to steal the blue team's solar boss here. Mr. Manager can't really go in and deal with it, but Dave W is now kind of stuck here. If he gets initiated on by the Froggy, he might be in trouble, but then there's his teammates coming in from behind in order to save the day. And Manager, Body Hunter, and Paulo all just chase it. There's the hammer coming out, and this pulse is going to do a ton of damage to Dave W. But we got Body Hunter is just going to get cocooned, but he's going to be able to get back to safety and just stay alive and safe. Nikki going in with the Stimpack machine gun. That attack speed bonus is very helpful. And even base Xipang can be quite helpful for pushing towers and clearing droids and just, you know, dealing with tankier Awesomenauts. As your strike coming out, just going to hit the droids. It looks like not anyone else. Blue team all at full health, ready to hunt for their prey. There's Nikki going in with the stun back and the attack speed, very helpful for him. And there's the hammer, not really going to hit anyone. Body Hunter trying to put in work with those hammers, and I've seen him do that before. We got the Solar Boss is going to go down for the red team here. Really, we just got we got glorified poking right now. Yes?
What time are you currently at?
Right now, 9:05.
9:05 myself.
Okay, that's...
okay. That's bizarre then. Okay, sorry about that.
So, anyways, yeah, we've been having technical issues with the timing and desyncs and whatnot. Apollo's actually going to get taken out by Nikki. It looks like, yes, he is going to get taken out, actually by Dave W. And Ubi is going to go down, well, at his pretty much his turret. Well, Manager's going to get chased. Manager at a kind of a bad spot, but Nikki has very little health. If Body Hunter can go in, no, it looks like Nikki's going to play it safe. He's actually going to go grab a health pack and actually go back in. There he goes. No, he is going to not get hit by the airstrike. We got Nikki gonna just use these auto attack hits in order to, well, just clear the droids. That's kind of what you do with it. I'm over glorifying everything because we've just got lots of poking here, and really the exchanges haven't been too crazy. We're 3 for 3 on both teams right now, and they're just looking for the big team fight, the big initiation to get the poke. And something that's going to help that a lot is spiritual cooking on Genji here. We've got double spiritual cooking, which is going to be a ton of extra health, and we're also getting double Commando Ted figurine on Ted. It's got double auto attack damage as well as double Starstorm statue. That is a lot of extra auto attack damage, like an extra 40% auto attack damage, plus Tedris and Airstrike will get a little bit of extra damage from that Starstorm statue as well.
It really is pretty significant, actually. And given everything that's been going on, and especially with the matches we had yesterday, I'd honestly say that spiritual cooking is going to make a huge difference. And it might even show up right here in this fight. As Frog's left behind and is looking to get out, gets hit by the anchor dive, and actually finished off by Machine Gun. Doesn't basically unable to get out with his
Manager! Wow! Oh my!
There's the kill. There's your kills. That was a well-placed anchor dive.
Wow! I was about to congratulate Mr. Manager there on getting that cheeky kill and then being able to get it with the pounce, but Ubi would not have any of it. The Squid was angry, and he's going to go in with that hook and get 2 kills, and they're going to be able to push this top turret. It looks like they're playing it safe. They probably could have taken that turret, but they're playing it very safe. And
don't think it's actually,
they might actually be able to... Yeah, it's going down. Sweet. That is base exposure already. Both bottom turrets for the blue team are like fully alive and well, pretty much. And that is a lot of push. If the blue team dies at all, like if 2 of them die, it's over. Like, it is done. Especially if Scoop is the only one left alive. There's nothing he can do. And that is quite terrifying for a team XD here. But they're going to get a ton of push. They've got the gun penny going in on this top tower here. Paulo going to take a lot of damage. Not going to get hit by that hammer. And the airstrike is going to go in. Not going to be able to hit anyone, though. But just, you know, just the presence of airstrike and Tedris and whatnot make it very hard to push against Ted. Ted is also very good at defending just because of the sheer damage he has. That's part of the reason why I love him, is that he just always has damage for every situation. If you buy Tedris, you've got long range poke. If you buy grenades, you've got mines and a lot of extra damage on your shotgun. If you got Stimpack, you've got pushing power. If you got airstrike, you've got heavy burst with the ability to mini stun with a certain upgrade as well. So much versatility in terms of damage.
Indeed. And in this case, actually, I'd say that blue team's kind of suffering a little bit. I love Scoop, and Scoop is being played like very well here. You've got some really good CCs with Hammer, but in terms of his supportive ability, I think it matches Genji, but his offensive, Genji's auto attack is enough to really do enough to keep them back. Still waiting for the Arbe Cocoon to happen eventually. You never know. You never know. Otherwise, there's some good damage coming up from the blue team, but I just don't think they have quite enough to really deal with the spiritual cooking and Monarch Blessing combo. Red team's a little bit too bulky for what they have, and yeah, like in addition to this, they've built heavily into damage with Ted and Swickens anyways. They've got double pills on them, so their HP bars are monstrous at the moment. And you stack that up with a little bit of Monarch Blessing. It's honestly, they've got the team fight locked down. And the thing that Blue needs to do is basically assassinate one of them, preferably the Genji if they can, but I don't think that's really an option at that point. Otherwise, it's going to have to be basically Swiggins or Ted, and that might be a little bit difficult with Genji support going on. We
have a slight issue here. It seems that as though the actual host of the stream here has had the replay ran out of data because of just because of the way live replays work. Well, it can run out of data if you actually are too far ahead into the replay, and it's just a slight little strange little bug. But anyways, we're going to be going back to 1250.
Right. Yeah, we are.
All right, 12:50. We're gonna have to fall back a little bit. Sorry for the interruption, everyone. I will count us down from 3 and start at go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Right, we're back into it. Many apologies for that. We can see here that red team's really got like a commanding lead over the blue team. Scoop just doesn't apply as much damage as he did back in the past when he was able to rush double damage and burst bindings. He's got the support and he's got the self-sustain, so he can last through a lot of the fight, but he just doesn't have the offensive pressure that he had before, so even going in there doing the damage he is, still not enough.
Uh-oh, no, this is terrible.
Okay, there we go.
Blue team here. Now, here's the problem. Nikki went down, which means that they don't have Ted, and Mr. Manager is a gun penny, so he could potentially defend here, but this is a 1 versus 2 here. Ubi's going to have his anchor back. He does have his anchor back, and there's the Cocoon. Actually going to miss. He's going to whip the anchor too. This is when Mr. Manager needs to just go in and go ham on them, but the Spiritual Cooking, Monarch Blessing, the turret's going to do a lot of extra damage, but that anchor drop because of Kinetic Spoon is going to do so much damage. He's going to have to fall back, but the base took basically no damage, and his teammates are back alive as he's going to buy pulse damage real quick. 2 stages of it, and as well as having the gun penny, it's just, that's a lot of damage on Penny there, and that is quite terrifying.
It is actually, and I mean the pulse damage is quite nice. At this point, it's going to be hard for the blue team to come back, and honestly, I mean, there's not too many kills in the game right now. It's 8 kills to 5 kills, so blue team's actually not that far behind, and they've got well-placed damage at times. It's just, at this point, Monarch Blessing combined with pills, and now the Healing Blessing just makes their team ridiculously tanky without even needing to like invest all the damage. And Genji already has his auto attack damage going on, so he's really actually got a solid poking AA. In terms of other forms of damage. Zwicken's AoE Ancient Octant has actually been putting in tons of work this game, as it normally does. The blue team's been gathered up enough to take a lot of burst damage, such as in this case, as Paulo gets hit by the anchor drop. Volley Hunter's going to get down by machine gun. Paulo's going to try to escape that as Frog. We have Penny in the left jungle.
Oh, the shotgun!
Shotgun almost secures a kill against Frog, but Frog's gonna get out. However, Mr. Manager's got barely HP after a fight with Dave W in the jungle, and he's going to want to get out. No, don't go up now. Get out. And he's got
what is happening right now? Paulo's dead! Paulo went in to try to save his teammate, but his teammate didn't need the help, and now Mr. Manager has got to teleport back as it's 3 versus 1 here, but it's the Scoop of Justice, Robo Scoop here. Flaunting that wonderful skin, is going to eat an airstrike to the face, but also be here to defend. There's the pulse coming in, doing so much damage to Ubi! Nikki is taking a bunch of damage as well. The grenade is not quite able to kill Mr. Manager. He's got to teleport back again, but Ted and Genji do so much structure damage. The base is at half health here. Body Hunter's defending right now. Here comes Froggy G. Once again, coming back to help his friends here, and Dave W can take a lot of damage from that pulse. There's the Monarch Blessing, those Spiritual Cooking, and the Monarch Blessing just constantly keeping you topped up, as well as the healing on Monarch Blessing as well is going to make that a lot of extra health, about 300 healing. Plus he's got Jagger, so like this Genji is a tank now. This Genji is turned into Clunk. That's essentially what he is.
More or less. I mean, without the self-destruction, it's kind of like he's playing a different Scoop, a Scoop for the team. Otherwise,
clearly he's just got a self-destructive nature. I mean, didn't you see he broke his backstory? He was feasting and he broke that because he just had to eat so much food. He's just like Clunk because Clunk bites. It's a conspiracy, I tell you.
And nibs and morbidly obese bowl of barbecue stuff and candy wig. But we won't talk about that. Anyways. Penny, I think, has actually been pretty good as the blue team's backline. If you look at kills right now, Penny's 5 kills up compared to Scoop's 1 kill. Props to Body Hunter for that 1 kill. And Frog's unfortunately got no kills at the moment. Might change in a second, though. Scoop's taking a ton of damage. Going to have to back off there. Dave W's looking very happy to farm up the creeps, and Red Team's in a great position to be pushing. At this point, it's really hard for them to do much. They need Penny to go in first with the pulse in order to really silence them all, and then capitalize with maximum damage. Although, at the moment, Scoop does have his triple bindings, Banner the triple Scoop, and Frog does have some serious burst damage. He does have the Splash Dash combined with Hammer Pants, 2 stages, so there's chances for significant burst, but at the moment, Spiritual Cooking is just enough to last him through the initial part of the burst, and then you've got the rest of it, which is basically, hey, I've got Monarch Blessing, go pop that, it's got the Heal Blessing, I'm gonna be fine. So I don't know what blue team can really do at this point. They're going to have to play incredibly well, or poke down the red team so much that Genji's forced to use his blessing early. Which might happen, we'll see. Probably not, though. Looks like blue team's just holding on for dear life and waiting for some key upgrades to be picked up. More damage on Frog, probably a little bit more damage on Scoop. Maybe some auto attack damage to give him a little bit more deeps. Penny, I imagine, is pick up a Cookie Monster badge. And we actually have slow cubes. More CC. not a bad thing. Actually, it's fairly significant to help Penny land pulses and do whatnot, help her chase, which is actually what's going to happen here as Penny tries to chase, but the airstrike denies.
There we got a big initiation, it seemed like, but it doesn't actually seem to be the case. Paula's going to go with the dash, going to try and do something, then the hammer as well. That airstrike could have been a huge play, but it didn't actually seem to hit anyone. And really, all we need is one good airstrike or one good hook, and that's going to be the end of the game here, because like that base is already half health. That bottom turret just needs to go down. The droids are going to be destroying that bottom turret while the blue team is fighting up here, because Mismanager is going to get hooked and get the anchor drop on him. The airstrike is going to hit Polo. Everybody on the blue team is so hurt, but so is Nikki. But Nikki doing the teleport dance, the BM. And Scoop is going to teleport back as well as Apollo here. They've got a 3 versus 2 situation. Petty is going to be back at about 15, about 15 seconds counting for the drop time as well. We got Ubi actually going to take a lot of damage. There's the anchor drop though, but he doesn't have the hook yet. And his anchor is most likely going to be broken before he can get it back, as that's what Spotty Hunter is doing right now. And well, he's going to teleport back, and we just got Nikki versus the world here right now. Gonna get a good push on this bottom turret, looks like, though. Ted is fantastic push. He's not gonna use airstrike to push, instead he's saving that for the stun pack, which can be a wise decision at most times.
Yeah, and I'd say that the grenades really help with his push there too. While people can jump over grenades, bots, they're a little bit silly. They'll just walk into them, so it's a really good effective clear and area denial, which is amazing because the grenade actually picks up Paulo there, and Paulo's actually going to go down to
I love grenades.
Oh, they're very good in certain situations.
The amount of times you get cheeky kills with grenades as well as Tetris is just so good, and now this base is just going to get melted. That's all the red team had to do. It's brutal damage on that core, and it is going to go down, making the first game of the set going to Cute Men.
Yeah, well, they played really well there, actually, I have to say. They were really spot on with their upgrades, and they really stuck together for most of it. And the couple times that Swiggins went in with the Ancient Octant, securing the kill, especially the one time Penny was right near the tower at the back, it was fantastic. She was able to just clean up the kill, be cleaned up by the kill from Swiggins, thanks to jumping onto the Scoop. And in this case, I think Scoop's cool. I like Scoop, but I don't think he really had the damage compared to most. And in addition, Frog, I love Frog as well. He's very good at applying pressure, but I didn't see any RB cocoons, and I didn't see much for following up on the initiation. But I will say props to Penny, because honestly the pulse damage that came out, fantastic. There was a lot of good brawling work that she did, and there were times where I thought she was dead inside the enemy jungle and managed to escape.
Absolutely, yeah. For Paulo, 0 and 7.
Yeah, it's, it's a little rough, but when you're
sad.
Frog against Swiggins.
Yeah, not much you can do. But anyways, we are going to take a quick break. But actually, I had something I'd like to point out before we do that. Is Cute Men, actually, I'm pretty sure that they've won the winners finals. So that means that if they win one more match in this set, there's no bracket reset. They win the tournament. That'll be it. So this could potentially be the last match of the tournament coming up. So exciting. So we'll see what happens. There could be a bracket reset, and this could go up to like 5 games long. No, 6 actually, potentially. It could be up to 6 games long, because we could have 2 best of 3s, and then we'll be here for a while, folks. But for now, we'll see if it gets ended next match, and we will have a short break so that we can set everything up and get the next match going. We'll see you then.
Hello everyone, welcome back to your grand finals for the Awesomenauts Rumble Gathers. I'm Devmon, joined again by Uberanzi for the second game of Xipang Disciples versus Cute Men.
Yes. Thank you, Devmon. We are back after a slightly longer break. We're doing all these matches live, so we have to have time to set up the drafts and matches and whatnot. So please bear with us. But anyways, we are in the second match of this grand final set, the potential first set or only set, and we are 1-0 for Cute Men. If Cute Men can win one more game, they win the tournament. That's it. But if Xipang Disciples can run it all the way back to 2 wins here and then get 2 wins in the next set, well, then they managed to win it as well. That's the stipulation for if you come from the losers finals. But either way, it could be over right here. But we will actually have to get into the drafts to see that. And honestly, Cute Men's team's it's total beef squad. But we got to get into the drafts proper first.
So, I guess I can take it to the draft. So, in terms of bans and picks, Xipang Disciples have started by banning out the Penny. That's been followed by the Genji ban, which I think is more than appropriate for Cute Men to do, given how Genji was the last game. He is absolutely devastating and provided tons of team support while doing actually significant amounts of damage with the auto attack. Going into the picks, though, Team Xipang Disciples have picked up Leon, which has been met with Vinny and Spike and Deadlift, which is fish and beef. Fish and beefy, if you enjoy that combo.
Beefy fish.
Beefy fish? There we go.
Beefy fish.
Anyways, after that, Jimmy in the Lux Spot's going to be picked up along with Leon. Jimmy in the Lux Spot is pretty devastating, as I think we all know from yesterday after those matches. Did tons of work, and with Edster going on a rampage as a baby, absolutely fantastic. So I'm ready to see more of that in this game.
Yeah, you know what? I just came up with an amazing name. Pufferfish, more like bufferfish.
Bufferfish. There we go. That's awesome.
I had to say it. I had to interrupt you to say it. But anyways, yeah, we've got
it's fine.
We've seen Scream. We've seen him put in the work, as some of you may have seen earlier. That wipe was absolutely just
very good. That's very good damage that was put in the other game.
And yeah, well, we've got the Leon Lux and Scree. So it's a little less conventional. You don't have a sort of really set, I don't know, well, I mean, like, you don't got Genji is the thing. You've got Leon as the initiation with the silence, and you've got Scree as your damage, more or less. Though Lux can still do plenty of pain and stuff. And well, Lux is great on Aguilon, which is the map, by the way. He's great on Aguilon on that bottom lane. Leon, well, this is kind of his hometown, so, you know, he's got that hometown advantage. And, well, he's got the pull, which could do a lot of damage. You can get the silence as well. You can even get range if you really wanted to. And, well, Scree, we've already seen him do a bunch of damage. He's really good. You can get that auto attack damage and chase very well. Also, it's the great stuff. And for Cute Men, we've got a lot of damage from Vinny. Great single nuker to have. And then you've got 2 very beefy buff characters, like Deadlift and Skoldir. And you can have you got the shield on, you got the protective pose on Deadlift, and then you've got the lunge, which makes him really good at hit and run tactics or getting out and running tactics. And then on Skull, you've got the throw, you got the initiation with that, the potential to just body block people and do a ton of damage. It all depends on who's playing Skull. And considering Nikki is on Cute Men, if he's playing him, ooh, you're in for a show.
Well, we'll have to see if that's going to happen. Otherwise, I think that when it comes down to the team comps, they're not as, say, set in stone as the last one where you had, like, here's Ted, here's Wiggins, here's Genji. It's very solid, and you've got, like, an idea of what you're doing there. These teams seem to be a little bit more flexible and open, so, I mean, when it comes to Scree, he can do some auto attacks, he can do Saw, he can even do a lot of totem work. You've got Jimmy, he's basically very flexible, either doing missiles or getting there with the Brawl of Charge and his auto attack. And Leon can do a whole bunch of different things as well. In terms of Team Beefy Fish, Pufferfish, Bufferfish, Vinny and Spike has a lot of burst damage, like you said before. I think Deadlift Shield is actually going to be incredibly good. It gets eaten up by Saw Blades and missiles more than any other big kind of big nuking burst attack. However, getting in there with Skoldir, being able to provide that protection to lead into a throw, I think that's something that Skoldir is going to really appreciate when it comes into initiation, and that might actually be able to secure a lot of kills. We're at to see on that one, though. That's kind of my prediction there. Is there a team that you think is going to win this one, Uberanzi?
I don't know. I feel like I'm a little more confident in Cute Men's team, but we also saw what Scree can do, so I think it's pretty even. But
okay, is that
it feels even to me because I'm just kind of curious what they're gonna try and pull with Scree and Leon, but we'll see.
I'm really curious to see how Scree's going to do, because given how Deadlift plays out, he likes to be near allies to shield them, which means that that's going to be the optimal place to use Forked Lightning, and that's going to be where, well, Scree's going to really shine, so Deadlift might be countered by Scree in that sense, so we'll also have to see what happens, though.
Alrighty, well, I think we've been talking about the draft long enough. Let's get into the potentially final match of the day, but we'll see if Xipang Disciples can run it back. I'm at the 21-second mark because LOL 4.0. Are you ready?
I am indeed. I'm also at the 21-second mark, so if you can give us the countdown, and we can get into the game.
Absolutely. Starting the countdown from 3 and going at go.
Go. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Right, here we are, we're in the game. We have Body Hunter playing your Jimmy the Luckspot, we have Follow on your Scree, and we have Manager playing your Leon. On the other team, we have Nikki playing that Skoldir. As predicted, that's going to be interesting. Otherwise, we have Finny and Spike being played by Dave W, and Ubi's actually going to pick up your Beefy Beef McDadlift.
Oh yes, the Beef Squad. We've got Body Hunter actually picking up the Invis versus actually teleporting back, most likely to get Danger Pins, which is not a surprise, as well as Skull going back in order to get Stun Punch. So two very, very core upgrades for those two characters, those two knots. And burning the Invis is sometimes better than, like, you know, it's just better to burn the Invis rather than try and do something with it. Ubi's going in with the Protective Pose, and the launch going to do damage to two enemy and Awesomenauts, but not too much there. Almost a couple of deaths in First Blood there, but they're going to be able to back up and not have too many crazy shenanigans. But we've got Ubi and Dave W just kind of rotating at the top lane, Skull on the bottom. Earthquake can do some serious work on bottom, but now they're lane rotation to bottom from Manager. And Body Hunter is just kind of sitting there waiting for the optimum charge there. There's the charge, going to try and get the charge on Ubi, not going to be able to succeed. There's the throw onto Apollo. He's going to take a ton of damage from this, and he's going to go down to Dave W's bubble gun there. And Body Hunter got that DOT on him, going to have to fall back. Very good play there, and that is what Nikki can do on Skull. You got to be careful around him. He can do things that you didn't know that Skoldir could do, and it's terrifying. And that's an easy first blood there for him.
And speaking of first blood, how about a second blood with Invisible Throw Skoldir? That might be coming out soon.
Oh dear. Well, I'm just kidding. He's earthquaking droids.
Yeah,
we hyped it all up for nothing.
No, that's fine. In terms of builds, fairly typical standard builds. You've got a Dave W piggy banking to get that solar tax actually for the. Well, basically, your gold bag full of goldfish. You need 150 solar to buy it, then 150 solar on hand to activate it. So Piggy Bank will give you the solar to activate it if you do so need. It looks like they're going for an early game. Beat them up as fast as possible, or I came to kick butt and use bubble gun kind of build.
Looks like we've got the throw on Mr. Manager in almost the exact same situation, and he's going to go down to Nikki's 1-2-3 combo. And Body Hunter, very hurt. He's going to fall back. Paulo putting in work. Oh, there's another throw on Paulo! It's going to go down!
Oh.
Nikki's able to get out as well after being so hurt. Nikki is just a madman. Able to go in and get the amazing throws, making that 2 kills, making that 0-3 for Cute Men right now. Maybe getting the snowball going as we got double dash damage on the video. Oh man, if they can get some push going here, or get a cheeky throw with Nikki in the Invis, he's gonna throw the clone though, and not Mr. Manager, but he earthquakes them both, getting the nice earthquake there, almost using the clone throw as bait, and gonna do a little bit of damage to them. Ubi's going to have to go back and get some creeps, gonna use that earthquake to do a little bit of extra damage to the droids. 350 DOT is nothing to, nothing to scoff at. We got Paulo and Body Hunter hanging on the bottom lane, where we got Mr. Manager heading to the top, and the blue team definitely controlling the middle, definitely controlling this area, and stopping the red team from really being able to do anything.
Yeah, it's been going back and forth between Footsie Knots and just the heavy initiation and aggressiveness from the blue team. I think that Silence Tongue has been a good choice on Leon's part, although it's kind of hard to silence all three of them, and in this case I think Vanine Spike's damages might be the one to consider, although if they're going aggressive and getting offensive, they might want to consider isolating Skoldir or trying to get the deadlift before you can get his shield off, because that's going to be a massive amount of shield for his team, although it will get melted pretty quickly given Saw's functionality. Deadlift shield functions a little bit differently than some other shields, so it will take 1 damage from a typical AoE, so that'd be like Clunks Explode or Derple's Nuke that explodes all at one time. If you get hit by something that is AoE in multiple instances, like Saw, where it comes out and hits multiple targets, it will melt the shield faster. So Deadlift shield's probably not going to survive in many team fights, especially if he wants to protect his teammates. Otherwise, I'd say that Vinny and Spike, like you said before, double damage right now, incredibly aggressive, incredibly dangerous. And Skoldir, of course, he's got the League 7 boots and the oily spray on bronze for massive punching opportunities. If he gets a throw, he's super fast and he's got to stun them constantly.
Well, League 7 boots are very cost efficient, and you know, like, the advertising campaign they did for them is just, you know, it's just too charming into League 7 boots for when you're on a hurry to get to League 1. Pretty good. We got Body Hunter actually getting hit by the stun punches, and Nikki is just going to combo him to hell and back, and then back to hell again, and get the kill. Paulo just going to teleport there, kind of, you know, be cheeky, trying to bait Nikki, but Nikki just knows better than that. He's going to try and push here. He's actually going to get the invis and clear bottom while he's got his teammates pushing top here and doing a little bit of damage. Their turret damage isn't too crazy. Nikki has great turret damage if they can get his teammates to actually clear for him, but either way, he's going to teleport back. Well, we've got Paulo and Body Hunter heading to bottom. All of the red team on bottom, really. And we've got Heal Punch for Nikki, going to help him stay alive a lot easier. But then here's the charge on the Ubi. Ubi is going to be done later, and that is going to be the first kill for the red team here, going to manage with that last hit with the Leon slash. And then there's the throw on the Body Hunter. The stun punch is going to take him out of charge. He's got so little health. Oh dear, I think we've got a pause situation here. We have a slight issue with the replay, apparently. We're going to pause it at 5:44.
Okay, let me get to 5:44 there. Be there in a second. And, well, we've had a second to talk about items and whatnot. I'll just say right now, Scree's Sunballs, they are an item that you just picked up recently, and in terms of auto attack upgrades, that's the king of the king for Scree's auto attack. Not only does it add like 3 additional forks of damage, which is fairly significant on its own, it basically allows you to kind of keep that chain going for a lot longer. So if you can combine that with other items, like say like attack speed, you can get that chain constantly going, and it will actually do lots of damage.
It is so silly, yeah. And once you get some auto attack damage, that can be pretty crazy. And we're seeing tongue damage on Leon as well as Ed. We've got the heal on deadlift, but enough talk about the builds. It looks like we are a-okay, given the okay to go. 5:44, counting down from 3, starting at go. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off to the races again, back to the same match, and they're still fighting it out. Given what's happened so recently, I'd say that Jimmy's been actually doing quite a few nice charges. I mean, we saw the beef stand, which happened in the bottom lane of that turret. He got absolutely squashed into that turret. Thanks to
the beef and baby sandwich. That sounds awful.
That's baby backwards?
I don't think. Oh my goodness, this is true!
It might happen again, actually.
It's gonna happen again, and that's gonna get Nikki, as well as potentially Ubi. He's just gonna take a little bit of damage here, but he's gonna be able to lunge to the top. Body Hunter going in, but dash will kill him. It's like, oh, the danger pits almost kills Ubi, doing his pose dance there, just being like, hey, you can't get this. And Body Hunter and Pillow, or excuse not Pillow, Paulo are going to be pushing this top lane here, doing a ton of damage. Leon can really melt these turrets, and looks like Dave W is actually going to be trying to clear this stuff, making sure that nothing too bad happens. A lot of damage on that turret, though, could potentially go down if they can get another push like that. Blue team is going to be recuperating on this top lane here. We're going to get the throw on the droids. They're going to try and do a little bit of damage to this tower, but Lux is going to be able to clear these droids, no problem. There's the pull onto Nikki, a little bit of damage on silence, but nothing too crazy. Leon, sometimes Leon's plays feel kind of low impact, but they can be very effective with the pull, being able to just do a lot of damage and get that silence, and just kind of you know, there's not really another ability. Like, you can kind of throw yourself into the enemy, but it's kind of hard to pull them towards you. And there's the throw!
Oh, goodness. That's a really nice throw off his Goldie right into the top again. That's something we saw for the first 2 kills. Actually, being able to throw him into that corner makes him incredibly easy to hit with Spike Dive and basically debilitate, which allows for Dave W to really secure the kills on Scree and Leon there. Fantastic play out of Nikki there, and I believe if Red Team wants to have a chance against the Blue Team, their best bet is to probably take on Nikki. He's been applying the most defensive pressure. When he went down to the last
Body Hunter. Body Hunter was
down.
Going so greedy there. I thought he was going to get punished, and you could eventually just see the end of the game here. Body Hunter's going to be using those missiles to clear and manage your invis. Going to waste that and show the enemy team where he is. Nikki's going to get pulled, taking a little bit of damage, about 400 there, but not anything too crazy, but just kidding. Here's the charge, gonna have the danger pits damage, but he's gonna get thrown so much damage, and Dave W is gonna pick up the kill with the dash. Paulo taking a little bit of damage, but Nikki's gonna back off so that he can stay safe and get healed up. Paulo gonna teleport out. Ubi with the invis here, but Paulo actually not teleporting out, and Ubi and Dave W here are going to heal up. There's the invis being used just to get that little bit of sustain. Definitely not a bad way to use it, because it's always better just to make sure that you get the invis and not the enemy team. And there's the throw onto the droid. It's very exciting, and nothing too crazy. We've got a tower down for the blue team now, giving them the slight tower advantage, even though their health on their top tower is not too great either. But Another big play like that, like right now with Body Hunter actually just kind of getting sandwiched with Nikki there, but nobody's going to be dying from that just yet. We've got Ubi here just teleporting away. Well, you know, it's a little slower now, a little bit more footsie nuts again.
Yeah, more or less. And I have to say, right now, I think the red team's making some smart item choices, actually. Like, of course, Leon's going for the extra little bit of burst. Well, it's okay. I'll have to talk about Vinny in a second there, because I have a lot of things to say. Leon's picked up Baby Curry Maps to reduce the impact of the throw, which is going to help. And additionally, when Body Hunter's able to ram Nikki into the tower for the kill.
He's stuck under the totem!
That's a very great totem, and Leon's going for the damage! Taken out by what I wanted to talk about, which was maximum Vinny spike dive damage, which is Dead Seahorse Head, Cod, combined with Profiles, Anglefish, and Codfather for extra damage for their money. That is the maximum potential burst Vinny can do, and Leon didn't know it, got taken by it, and nuked instantly. Almost got deadlift too, if it hadn't been for that meddling kid, eh?
Oh my god! Ubi got out of that.
And again!
From Nikki.
Massive damage!
So hurt. But Manager is going to pick up the kill on Dave W. while Nikki is busy killing Lux. But whoever's playing Scree, I'm forgetting the names. Oh my goodness, Paulo is going to have to teleport out there. Mr. Manager trying to get the pull on Nikki, doing a little bit of damage here. But here comes Paulo with the auto attacks going in. Not too crazy though. Got the Saw Blade with the one stage of slow actually on it. Double damage on the Saw Blade. And we could see a very similar build to the other game where we get size on Saw Blade as well as double damage and slow, which will be just absolutely devastating, especially later on in the game, as we have no doubt seen. But Ubi and Dave W just kind of hanging out here, but we've got Lux in the bottom stealth area. Well, not anymore, but he's looking for that cheeky charge. But we got Nikki rotating around between the lanes, and here comes Mr. Manager. Well, there's missiles that are going to do a bit of damage to Nikki, but they're just kind of sitting in these stealth areas. They're waiting for someone to make a move. It's just like, you make a move, no, you make a move, no, you make a move, no, you make a move.
And that's actually
kind of what it is right now.
It's actually really going to hurt if they keep doing that. And the big reason why is just because Vinny and Spike has Codfather, which, if people do not know, gives you an aura around yourself, a glow, when somebody on the enemy team is near you and has 150 solar. That range is increased with Sharky and Ramona, which he has picked up right now, because that will actually give him, well, I guess, if you want to count it, some stealth detection as well as bush detection. So if somebody's close enough and has the money, you'll be able to say, hey, there's something going on around here. Let's be careful about that. In addition, it does lots of damage, and it's a very safe poke against the enemy team. So, very solid build idea for Vinny and Spike there.
Yeah, I do like that idea. I actually got the range on the, almost a machine gun range on Bubble Gun in order to help capitalize on that. But we got Nikki with the Invis. Let's see if he can do anything crazy with that. Paulo knows he's there, though. He's just throwing out the auto attacks up there, as well as Body Hunter. Body Hunter's just trying to bait it out. Nikki is just standing there. He is a stone-cold warrior, and not going to be able to get the throw on Body Hunter. But Body Hunter kind of knew that was coming, it seemed. He's going to miss the throw on Paulo, and this is where they're going to go in. We got the slow on the Saw Blade as well, the insane damage. Nikki's going to get taken out after throwing out that Earthquake. Going to do quite a bit of damage to the red team here, but Newbie and Dave W are going to have to fall back. Dave W could pull some crazy shenanigans with that dive there too. If he goes in on anyone who's even slightly injured, they are probably going to die afterwards, because you've got like 1,000 damage, I think, right now, just with that dive if you just use it point blank. And it's got a decently low cooldown of about 9 or 8 seconds. And there's the dive going to do a ton of damage.
Actually.
What? I thought it was 8.
No, it's lower than that.
Oh my goodness.
Dive quite frequently. And given the combined burst damage that he has access to, one throw means that they're taking a lot of damage. If you get the throws up into the areas like we had earlier game, if you get them into predictable areas, that's incredible damage. The one thing I want to see coming from the team is, well, there's an upgrade on good old deadlift called Chocolate Milk. And Chocolate Milk increases your damage against knots by 14% per stage, 2 stages, as long as you're in the shield, which includes allies, which includes another 28% possible burst damage from Vinny and Spike on the enemy team. So, you know, like, some ridiculous burst damage might be coming out later on. You might see something like that.
We'll see. Well, Ubi's just kind of going in, beef versus baby there, just punching the giant mech that houses that baby. And, well, not too much is happening. They're going to disengage here. Nikki getting a little bit of health. Got that life steal, which is going to help a lot. Body Hunter's going to be on this bottom lane as well as Manager. Looking for that charge and that pull, or the charge into pull, or pull into charge. All those crazy combos that the cool kids like to do. And we've got Body Hunter going to just barely dodge that Earthquake there, but it doesn't matter too much. But here he is in the bottom lane. Ubi could be in a bad spot. No, he's going to actually go for Nikki, but the throw is going to cancel him out of the charge. It's not really going to get any big kills, but it's going to save Nikki. A really good play there. And we got Dave W falling back. Ubi very low health. Gonna have to teleport out or grab some creeps or something. Looks like he's opting to teleport. Nicky's got a clear bottom here. Well, Bounty Hunter is going to throw out those missiles. There's Paulo there, and the Saw Blade going to do a ton of damage. If Leon can get a pull, and maybe they could do some crazy magic here, he could be in trouble, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Bounty Hunter sitting in bottom once again. Have they learned their lesson? No, he just charges preemptively and kind of wastes it there. But blue team could rotate to the top lane. We got Paulo coming up. He's got the totem. That totem's actually going to block that stun punch there. Kind of a nice little positioning there. There's Nicky with the Earthquake. Only going to hit Paulo. There's the dive doing 700 damage. But now Dave W is going to get pinned by the charge. Take a ton of damage from that. But Bounty Hunter's going to go down anyways. Dave W is so hurt he's going to have to get out of there. Mr. Manager and Paulo are stuck behind this bottom turret here. With very little health. Now the blue team, once Dave W gets a bit of health, are going to be able to make a big push on this bottom turret, most likely. But Scree is alive as well as Leon. Leon's probably just going to clear top here and then make it so the blue team doesn't have any form of push with that Scree there, which is a smart play there. But Mr. Manager is now kind of stuck in the creep area. We got the big push, but Ubi is going to help with that push. Oh, the throw!
Stun punch throw
on the Manager!
That was a really good throw, and even with Baby Curry Mammoth on Leon to reduce the impact of throw, like the distance itself, it was still enough distance to pull him into the danger range of the, not only the lunge, but the fists and the maximum dive damage. Oh, it's actually something I believe is a little underrated in some situations. Of course, silence is usually the optimal item in that case. It's usually picked up over Dead Sea Horse Head, and you have the 2 damage upgrades of Chromefile and Goldfish. But in this situation, going for maximum dive has allowed them to nuke the enemy competition where silence isn't going to be need to be needed. Although it would have been nice there if there was some silence to stop Bounty Hunter and his friends from just taking out 2. Now they're looking for some revenge push to try to get the bottom tower and a bit of the top tower down right now. Mr. Manager is going to do some split pushing of Leon and can do so effectively. Bottom turret's going to go down, and it's relatively even actually at the moment. The XP levels are pretty much spot on, dead on. And kills are met with 7 to 11, a kill difference of 4, and red team's actually getting a little bit more push out than the blue team. So they're not out, even though there's amazing damage coming out from the blue team.
Yeah, like the blue team has been doing phenomenally. Actually, this bottom turret is still alive, but it looks like it's down on the mini-map.
Oh,
that's so it's such a strange little bug. But anyways, they just need to breathe on that thing and it is going to topple into pieces. And then someone can say Jenga. But Nicky here is just going to be killing the Super Droid. Well, we've got red team coming back in order to hopefully defend this bottom turret, but they might just want to give it up. They're looking for the cheeky kill. There's Nicky trying to go and find the throw. The level advantage is, well, gone for the blue team now, being even levels with slightly more experience for the blue team. There's the punches. Not quite going to hit Mr. Manager there, though. And we got Ubi and Dave W hanging out sort of in the creep area, just in this middle area. And the red team all recuperating and recalibrating up in their creep area. And, well, Nicky's looking for the throw, and Manager's looking for the pull. That's essentially what's happening right now. Or Bounty Hunter could look for the charge, but he's actually not going to get the charge there. Well, Nicky is going to try and get the throw on him, but he's going to be able to charge away. Yeah,
more or less. Upgrades are being picked up now. A little bit more bulk for the red team to try to take that burst, and if they do get thrown, a little bit of survivability. Lash of the Goddess kind of round out the auto attack, making sure that the initial and the fork damage is going to do a lot of damage. And Vinny and Spike has gone back to pick up pills and regen to survive the fights, in addition to Weaken, which is going to be a huge factor in the game actually. Although it's this one is now in the nerf state compared to yesterday, 15% Weaken is still nothing to shrug at, especially when it's applied in a long-lasting big area for the enemy team. So it might actually turn around some of the team fights and allow them to basically secure the win. We'll have to see about that though. Leon's wanting to burst with his tongue, and he's looking to go in. He goes in an Ubi. Meanwhile, Nicky's punching the heck out of a baby. Poor baby gets baby punched, and he tries to get the throw off, but the totem's going to deny the throw at the stealth area. Throw goes off. Actually, Leon gets pulled out and fished out, but is unable to be capitalized on, unfortunately. So Leon's going to be out there. He's going to be safe. And they're going to have to deal with the lack of Jimmy in the lock spot for the moment. Meanwhile, their push is going to go on. Leon's looking for an opportunity to get some burst damage off, a little bit of an assassination, but it's a little bit hard for him, given the fact that the blue team's got so much regeneration that they're able to stay at maximum HP even after these dangerous engagements.
Oh, there's the dive coming out on Apollo. Can take about half his health, plus the Weaken Cloud. Vinny is just so terrifying. It doesn't matter if you nerf him, he's still got a pretty great kit here. But Bounty Hunter is now back into the fray, and blue team was able to do a little bit of damage to that turret, but nothing too crazy. They really need to kill Scree if they want to get any amazing push. Even if Lux is the last one alive, or, you know, Leon, if they could just kill Scree, they'll have some huge potential to get some push going. Lux is going to come in through the top here, not really going to do much. There's a throw onto him, though, from Nicky, and they're going to be chasing Bounty Hunter. He's trying to get the teleport, but no, he's just going to charge out, play it safe, and there's Mr. Manager going in, but Nicky is going to land the punches, And gonna look for that throw, digging for it. He wants to get it, but Mr. Manager is now gonna try and get away. He's gonna screw up the Earthquake, though. He's not gonna be able to drop down and get the Earthquake, which is what his plan was, I imagine. Manager's gonna be able to get out of there with the Invis. Well, we've got Vinny just trying to do a scree, but everybody's gonna back off a bit. Bounty Hunter is gonna fall back behind his turret. Blue team is still gonna retain the control. They almost got the kill on Leon, which would have helped immensely. But they still gotta deal with Scree and Lux here defending if they try to get any push going. Nicky digging for something here. And
well, that's appropriate given the Minecraft skin that he's using at the moment, so, yeah. And in terms of other things that are going on, in terms of Leon going down, probably not the worst thing for the red team. Leon's defense is a little bit hard given that he's so melee and so close range. Scree would probably be the devastating one, given the fact that he's got slow, he's got the damage, he's got the extra fork targets for his lightning rod. We have actually Bounty Hunter pushing Nicky into a poor position. We have the totem going off, putting him in a sandwich.
Good. But he's going to be able to kill the totem. That was amazing.
That was very close. If he hadn't killed the totem, you've been in a real sticky pickle. We have Mr. Magic getting taken down by Ubi for well-placed power lunge, and red team.
Apollo's a bit overextended here. Can they maybe? Nah, Apollo's going to fall back. I was wondering if maybe they would be able to make something happen there, but it doesn't look like it here. There's the throw on those droids, very riveting, and we got Hollow just transferring between the lanes, making sure he can defend. They don't want the blue team getting any damage on these towers here, because if those towers go down, they're going to be in a heap of trouble. And Scree is amazing at defending. If he goes down, they're going to have a serious issue. But even if he's the only one left alive, the blue team can still try to push, though it is very difficult to do.
Ooh,
but there comes the charge onto Ubi, but Dave W is going to fall back a bit. Well, we got the weak cloud right then and there. It's going to help quite a bit within these time fights as well. Paulo might actually go down. This is the blue team's chance. He's going to go down to the DOT, now making it only Bounty Hunter and Mr. Manager. And now they have some serious potential to push if they could just clear these droids, but these droids on bottom are not cleared. And Leon is the only one up top here. Really, they just need to scare the red team away, and that's exactly what they're doing. There's nothing they can do without Scree here. If Scree isn't alive, the blue team could just body this turret, and all they gotta do is just do all the damage. Nicky can go in with a throw here. This could be the end of the game if he can get a good throw, but it doesn't look like it. And they're gonna do a lot of damage to this base, though. Not quite yet. All Cute Men has to do is clear this base, and they win the tournament. So a ton of stuff is at stake right now. Here comes Mr. Manager. A little hurt. He's going to take that creep. Going to get the nice pull onto Ubi. Ubi being very hurt is just going to have to walk out there. But luckily, he's got all of that beef, all that muscle in order to stay safe.
Alright, I guess we're heading into the final bits of the game. If red team wants to come away with this as a win, they have to take advantage of the whole situation. They need Paulo to stay alive. He's going to be the primary win factor in this case. He does enough AoE damage and he's got enough defense in case somebody does go down. And they need Nicky down. His pressure with his throws, incredibly aggressive, incredibly dangerous. And if one of them gets thrown, it's good. Pretty much good game at that point, so they need to take down that Skulldugger as soon as possible. A little bit of chip damage goes out, the Silence Tongue, leaving him in a not too bad of a position. They don't capitalize on it at all, and Nicky's going to restore all his HP thanks to the white perfumed flowers. Otherwise, we have the Nicky going off, gets the throw on a clone dies instantly, but Leon's going to be fine and safe with his invisibility on top. They're looking to collapse on them right now and waiting for Jimmy to buy some upgrades, including attack speed and some missile damage, in addition to his auto attack damage. So he's looking like he's got the brawl, and if they can just find the right avenue, the right opportunity, they can capitalize. Leon's on bottom, meanwhile the red team is split up, blue team's staying together, meaning that the red team needs to recuperate right now, otherwise the blue team's going to take advantage of that. Stealth Orb is going to be wasted, and that's okay for both teams at this point. I don't think red team minds at all, and blue team would rather have the Stealth Orb, but I think they're fine with their aggressive plays at the moment. Missile Poke and Tongue is going to hurt Ubi quite a bit, and even with the Sweat Web Band and a bit of regen, he's still hurting a little bit since he doesn't have Netty Can at the moment. Saw Blade's going to go out, do a little bit of chip poke damage, and do a little bit of damage right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, we are very close to seeing Cute Man actually win this game here. Mr. Manager looking for something with the pull here. If they can, like, the base is exposed. If they can just get the kill on screen, then it's probably over. But we gotta see. There's a nice throw onto Bounty Hunter. He's gonna do a little bit of damage with that. He's going in for the Earthquake, the Snare Quake, anything. There's the dive. Mr. Manager is gonna go down. Ubi getting the last hit after that sick dive. And now Bounty Hunter's actually gonna be able to teleport out. So now Nicky is just completely clearing here. Ubi and Nicky are rolling out, and we got Dave W fighting Scree right now, doing a good chunk of damage, but he's got to watch out for those missiles. 237 damage times 4. Pretty brutal. here is Body Hunter. One good dive could kill him, but it looks like Dave W is trying to play it safe, doesn't want to dive into death here. They're in a fragile situation where if they get one kill here, it could win the game. And Dave W, very low health, looking for something. He's actually going to fall back. Apollo's going to take a ton of damage, but he's not going to die and do 800 damage to Nick in the process. And Body Hunter is going to be able to teleport out all the red team, just juking the hell out of the blue team here. But the blue team almost has a 2-level advantage, double the kills. It looks very much like they could win this game. And there's Stolen Couch in getting the Earthquake range, as well as the height on Earthquake. So now that Snare Quake is just not going to do that much damage, but it's got so much range on it, it looks absolutely silly. And Nicky can just snare the whole enemy team. That could be over for them. But we'll see. Looks like he's going to get pulled by Mr. Manager here, taking a little bit of damage. Paulo's going to go in. He's going to get the throw on Paulo, and he's going to kill Paulo. This might be it. This could be
That's
the end
gotta
of the
be
game.
it.
Body Hunter's going to have to charge out, but Dave W taking a lot of damage here, but now they just need to go to the space as long as Dave W doesn't die. But Mr. Manager's taking so much damage from Nicky. He's going to go down to the combos from Nicky. And now it's just Body Hunter versus the world. He's charging out, he's got to teleport, there's nothing he can do, but he decides not to teleport, just wasting time, while the blue team is just melting the space. This is for the win, this is for the tournament, game, set, and match, potentially. All Nicky has to do is, they even kill Body Hunter just to throw in the shame. And there you go, 24-32, the win, the set, and the tournament go to Cute Men.
Yeah, that's the grand finals all set and done. Congratulations to both teams, because that was an intense match, and there was a lot of back and forth. If Red Team had capitalized on, if they had actually gotten Skulldugger a couple more times, I think they would have had it hands down. But unfortunately, it was not the case for them. And do some really nice stun punches into throw, basically for assassination. Paulo goes down, and Paulo being the backbone for the Red Team means that they unfortunately lose the tournament.
Oh, that was a match, and that's it for the tournament too. So we're not going to be seeing any more matches today. We only had 2 matches for the grand finals. That was just a quick and dirty win from Cute Men here, and they managed to get it done. Like, oh man, Scree was putting in the work defending there. If Scree is alive, like, it's so hard for Blue Team to push. But if they can kill him and then start rolling through, it's pretty much over. Scree had just respawned. He was trying to come back. The Body Hunter was down, and the base was getting absolutely melted. Skull does a lot of structure damage. He isn't the best at pushing. He can clear, but he has to use his abilities, and his kit is much better used on nuts. But if he can get close to the tower and actually start punching it at point-blank range, he can do so much damage to structures, it's not even funny. And he's got this long Snare Quake and max damage on throw as well. Just that's like really strong and potent build if you can land your throws, and Nicky can definitely land his throws.
Yeah, I would completely agree there. In addition to that, like you said, Stolen Couch plus Volcano plus Snare means you've basically got everyone in front of you snared. And it's very easy to actually get somebody thrown after you land a snare. You go in stun punch to secure that stun, and then you follow up with the throw, and that basically guarantees all the damage that you're going to need to do afterwards as everybody gets collapsed on. Especially with Maximum Dive, Vinny, and Spike. I have to say that Dead Seahorse Head was a fantastic choice, and it really showed, and especially in a couple of kills, especially where I believe it was Ubi was trapped underneath a totem at one point, and then Vinny Spike shows up, comes by, Dead Seahorse Head dive, instantly moves Leon from full to nothing at that point.
Yeah, like, that just goes to show how strong Vinny is, and like, Scree was putting in the work, but there was not much he could do. But either way, what a fantastic match. What a great tournament this has been, and congratulations to Cute Men for winning this tournament. But either way, I think we're just about done with this. We do have one more segment, I believe. The winning team is actually going to be is going to be interviewed here. I'm not sure who's doing the interviewing, probably Pillow, but you can be excited for that. But just in case, before we leave, thank you very much, Devmon, for casting with me. Thank you very much to Edster for casting as well earlier, and thanks to Mr. Pillow for having me, letting me cast, and for him casting as well, and for hosting the stream, and to all our moderators and the giveaway people in the chat, like Slevins and Mimi, and all that stuff. Thank you so much, everybody.
I forgot Shiz yesterday, so I say sorry very much. I'm sorry, Shiz.
Sorry.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
Very sorry. But yeah, make sure you check out all our social media stuff and the Awesomenauts Scrim Portal down below. We do not own the Scrim Portal, but we highly endorse it. And, well, we'll see if the stream... I'm pretty sure we got an interview segment coming up, but if not, thank you very much to everybody for tuning in, and we will see you then when we meet again.
Indeed, indeed. And I wanted to give you guys a huge thank you for coming out today and, casting with me. It's been an absolute awesome experience. Your first place ended up, as y'all know, being Coop Min. That's Dave W, Ubi, and Nikki. In second place for the April Gatherers, it was Xipang Disciples, Buddy Hunter, PT, Mr. Manager, Paulo, and Shiz. In third place was relatively new team Samsung Galaxy as far as players playing with each other together. Plus 9volt's first real competitive foray. That's Tempest, Zuji, 9volt, and Slevens. All of them did an awesome job. We are going to continue the Gathers as a monthly event, and it is going. And I hope you guys enjoy it. We will announce. We're probably going to move to a 1 weekend format, so we get everything from start to finish, ends and begins on 1 weekend. And we will have the details of the next dates on it for this upcoming Scrim Show, Scrim Show episode 11. Scrim Show is our weekly series in which we cast various scrims for the community every Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. That's 5 p.m. UK, 6 p.m. Europe time, 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central. Give it a check out, twitch.tv/Awesomenauts Rumble. If you would like to submit scrims to the Scrim Show, go to our website at awesomenautsrumble.com. But without further ado, I'd like for people, the community to kind of be able to talk and get to know the people of the community, seeing the winners that they're always watching. So we're about to hop into an interview right now with Team Coop Min. Hey guys, how are y'all doing today?
Hey.
Yeah, pretty good. Feeling pretty happy.
Glad to hear it. Are y'all feeling hyped right now? Just another tournament under the belt. It's got to feel incredibly awesome right now, I imagine.
Yeah, it's nice to have another win. I guess one of us here has more wins than the others, but it's still nice for us to win some.
Indeed, indeed. Well, why don't y'all introduce yourselves right quick, just so everybody knows whose voice is whose?
Alright, I'm Dave W.
I'm Ubi.
Hi Nikki. Nikki, we can't hear you if you're talking.
Yeah, hello?
Hey, we can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Nikki. Hello?
Hi. Alright, so let me ask you this. A question I think a lot of people want to know. Is this y'all's news team in the future tournaments in the Awesomenauts community? Is Dave W, Ubi, and Nikki Dream Team Wombo Combo going to be the threat to face every time?
I mean, I'd assume so. Depends on who has time, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, all things going well. I don't see why we would change things up.
Gotcha. Good stuff. So going into this finals match, you guys had all this different, I guess, what do you call it? Did you guys, were y'all really confident that you were going to win, or were y'all nervous at all? Like, what's kind of going through your thoughts when you open up that first draft for the first match?
I felt pretty good. I don't know about the other two, but I always felt pretty confident. I mean, we hadn't dropped a single game leading up to the finals, so I wasn't too worried.
Yeah, me neither. Especially since they try to go with some funny picks at the end. You're not really sticking with the meta, which is good, but it doesn't pay off so often, like the screen pick or max focus.
I mean, okay, one question we got in the chat. Lancos, he wants to know, Dave, are you single?
Yes, I am.
Alright, there you go, Lancos. I don't know what he's going to do with that information. I just wanted to go ahead and deliver that over there. Let me ask you all this. You guys have been doing Awesomenauts a very long time. I assume this is one of y'all's probably favorite games, so they just want to play it so long. Just to get y'all know y'all a little bit better. What are some of y'all's other favorite games?
Well, I'm playing PlayerUnknown's Battleground right now with Ubi.
Yeah,
it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Alright, and what about you, Dave?
I guess popular games, like I'm a big Smite fan. I haven't really played it that much recently, but I follow Smite pretty heavily.
Yeah, do y'all think y'all are gonna get into the competitive of those games also, or is that just kind of a side interest?
Nah, I'm not good enough at Smite,
And
to be
player,
honest.
and
We'll see if there's a competitive scene in PUBG.
yeah, so I was gonna
Maybe
ask
just for fun though.
just for fun.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. What are some of the if you had to, I know it can kind of be hard to kind of say this in general, but if each of you guys had to give like one, I guess, big tip to all the new players that are coming in, because you know this game is going free to play in less than a month. What would that be? What do you think is like one of the #1 things to remember to be good at Awesomenauts?
Maybe try improving instead of blaming your teammates in pubs, because I mean nobody can get that unlucky that it's always the teammates. I managed to get 90% win rates solo queue, so it can't always be the teammates, I think. And blaming knots isn't really a way to improve either. So I'd say just keep playing and find out what playstyle suits you.
I think the best way to get better is just scrim a lot. Always look for scrims.
You can do that at the scrim portal. What about you, Dave?
I mean, I guess for new players, I think it's probably useful to focus on 1 or 2 characters, at least when you're like really just starting out. Because then once you sort of get to know 1 or 2, get a bit better, you can get a good understanding of the game itself without worrying about what each actual character's doing while you're playing. So I'd say just focus on a couple of characters when you start.
Okay, that's good advice. Good advice. In the chat, 1A Paris wants to know what each of you. He's asking Nikki, but we'll hear it from all of you. What y'all's favorite songs are?
Favorite song? I don't really have a favorite song right now.
What a cop out.
I don't really have one either.
Maybe Fireworks from Katy Perry. It's a pretty good song.
Maybe the Hong Kong song.
No. Okay, together with
No.
Dave, do you got a favorite song?
I mean, I'll give a real answer. I mean, anything by the Deer Hunter's good. If you know them, a song called Deer Misleading by the Deer Hunter. It's amazing.
Gotcha. Here's one, and this was something I was planning on asking y'all anyways. What do y'all think about knots going to free to play? And I think everyone, I'm gonna chime in. I think everyone kind of thinks, yeah, it's good. But what direction do y'all see Awesomenauts going in now? Like, is this the beginning of a huge new era for Awesomenauts? Is it gonna get bigger and bigger? Like, where do you think this scene is going to be 6 months from now?
I mean, hopefully bigger, right? That's where we all want it to go.
Yeah. I'd say it gets bigger, but not to an extent that people would hope it would. I think they need to get a lot more things for the free-to-play things, and right now you can't really grind for anything. So the only thing you can purchase with awesome points right now are the avatars. I'd say there needs to be a little more for people to stick a year from now.
I'm really happy with it though, overall. Like, I think it was the right decision.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, and we kind of touched on this a little bit just with the answers that were to what are some of the kind of tips you have to new players, but Crafted Nightmare wants to know, any tips for people wanting to get into the competitive scene?
I think, I mean, unless obviously the scrim portal's there, like, if you literally have no idea, that's definitely the place to start. But probably to get a better fitting in, it's easiest if you can find 2 or 3 people to consistently play with. So it's much easier to find scrims if you're 3 people trying to find, you know, another team, rather than just saying, you know, I want to scrim, can we find 5 people? Like, that's pretty rarely going to happen. So if you can find 2 or 3 people that you like playing with, I think that's probably the quickest, or at least once you get there, it's probably the quickest way.
Oh, okay, and do y'all have any other thoughts on that or anything? Or, because kind of agree, it is about just getting in there and scrimming, but...
Yeah.
And we got one last question. These Knots and Ronman, please, are both kind of asking the same one here. These Knots ask them what is the meta right now, and Ronman, please, wants to know which Knot is currently OP in UP, and I think we kind of see that already just in the drafts. But in general, like, how is the meta shifting to what it is? And I would say even if you compare the meta to what is it at the Galactic Warfare just a little over a month ago, even with just the changes being not that big, it still kind of feels a bit different. How is the meta progressing, and why does it progress in the way that it does?
I mean, I think Genji was always OP a little, but there was a little buff, so people started picking him up more, and especially I did. I played him a lot, and I found out he's quite unbeatable at the moment. So I think since there's not a lot of people scrimming, you can easily find out new things that are considered OP. But yeah, like the Genji buff just kind of made it a little strong. When Vinny got his weekend on Cloud instead of the Silence Clouds, that was a huge buff too for him, I think. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Penny got the buff on one Penny. Stuff like that, it's just always... I don't know.
Yeah, so to answer as well for like underpowered, I mean there's a few, I mean obviously you've seen today which characters haven't been picked at all. You got things like Lone Star.
Clonk.
Unfortunately, no, Clunk's really good, but we didn't pick it out today. Like Ulip can't really be used very much. I mean there's, you can literally just see characters that haven't been picked, like, or banned at all. There's generally a reason for that.
I think some characters are just outclassed. I mean, you can pick everything at a certain place, but sometimes it just feels like one character does everything that other character does just way better.
Yeah.
For example, Chucho, Raven, things like that are kind of outclassed by Ted, all of them right now. So unless Ted is banned and all the others are banned, there's no reason to pick those characters right now.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Anyways, guys, we're gonna wrap this. I do appreciate y'all coming out and bantering with me a little bit. Hope y'all had fun. Congratulations again on making it to first place without have single loss. I think you guys only even had base exposure on y'all once the entire tournament. Like, seriously, awesome work. I hope to see you guys back next month. Hopefully same spot. Hopefully get a win streak going. And congratulations again. I'll get with y'all after we end the stream in a little bit to distribute the prizes. And y'all have a pleasant rest of y'all's evening.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks for hosting. It's
You're
been
welcome.
really good.
Bye. All right, with that, guys, it is time to come to an end of our April Gathers tournament. I do again appreciate everybody coming out. Couple of quick shout outs once again. I wanted to give a big old thanks to Slevens, Edster, and to Masslink for being my event managers. These are the guys that have helped keep the matches coordinated during the playoffs, during the finals, during the qualifiers, and making sure everything goes smoothly. Thank you to Devmon, thank you to Edster, thank you for Uber Ransom for doing all the casting and delivering that great commentary. Thank you to Pasha, has been the guy producing all these beautiful graphics and assets. Thanks to 6E for NotStraptor.com. He's the guy behind that. Thank you to Baxis, I don't know if I said his name right. He collaborated with me to get that intro video that we play on. And thank you to Mimi and Slevens for running the giveaways and keeping those all going. Thank you to sorry, tongue tied. Shiz, she's been our Nightbot technician, keeping all those commands updated, and she's been doing an awesome job on that. Thank you to Ronimo. They sponsored this tournament by plugging it on their social media, promoting it, helping us get viewers, and supply all the giveaways, codes, and the Awesomenauts DLC prizes. With that said, it's time to come to a wrap though, so most importantly, thank you guys for checking it out, and y'all have a pleasant rest of y'all's evening.